I'll be honest, when we heard it groaning a little bit, when we were lifting it up, knowing that we thought there's big, heavy weights being moved, I was a little kind of freaked out, but... Hi there, yo folks. I'm Sean, the Modern Yeoman, and it's morning here on the homestead, which means it's time to get to work. You know, I feel really blessed that I get to consider these fields and this garden, this barn and this chicken run as essentially my office. And I also feel blessed that you guys are tagging along for the journey as well. Anyways, enough waxing philosophical. It's time to get to work. My dad and I have made quite a bit of progress on the deck, and I'd like to show you some updates on that front. But before I do, there's a project that I've been meaning to tackle for a long time, and I've just put off. And that's lifting up and putting this saggy roof corner on this lean-to, the south lean-to, up on this post. Right now, this corner of the roof is just hanging there in midair. It's not connected to the post at all. So what I'd like to try and do today is get this back onto the post somehow. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it, but I think we'll figure it out. Let's get to work. So what's the plan here, Dad?
Well, I think what we can do is, with this post just completely out of line, it looks to be usable still.
Yeah.
So just kind of reattach it, basically.
There's a little nook on it still there from when it was where it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So what we can potentially do is lift this corner up with this jack.
Yes.
And we can use a 2x4 or some sort of piece of wood, which we'll need to procure.
Right, yeah.
To kind of put on the jack and lift it up with the jack. And that should
get it to the place where we can re-screw it back in.
Slip it on and reposition it on the nook.
Yes. Or notch.
Or notch, yeah. Nook, notch, okay.
Whatever.
I think the first order of business is probably finding a piece of wood.
Yes, let's do that.
So I think we found a sturdy piece of wood that we're going to give a shot for this operation right here. Let's try it out. What do you think? I I'd like to push it a little more in. Oh, hang on, that's my finger. Sorry. Is that sturdy?
Seems to be. Is it perpendicular to the ground? I think it is.
Looks more perpendicular than the post does.
I think we're good.
All right. Moment of truth. Yep, there she goes.
All right.
Anything look fishy or weird?
Well, you can hear it
Cracking.
groaning.
I don't like that.
I know. That may be about where it's.
Okay, so we lifted it up, I'd say maybe 5 or 6 inches from where it was. Started to hear some groaning in this front board right here. So I think we're gonna mark this as the spot, cut a new notch in the post that's currently here, bring it in and screw it on and have that be the new spot for it. Well, let's cross our fingers that this works out.
Here, Sean.
This lag screw is holding in a little piece of wood that we need to get taken off in order to slip the new notch under here.
All right.
So I need to get this lag screw out. Yeah, not a problem.
Nice.
This is the moment of truth. We're gonna have to lift this up just a tiny bit in order for it to fit on top of the notch. And then like you said, we may not even need to drop it.
Right. Yeah.
More than a few millimeters,
Right.
if
yeah.
that.
Right.
All right, here we go.
Start lifting. Okay, drop.
Okay. You holding the top? Yep. Here we go. Cool. Is it resting on it? It is.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part, Dad.
Man, I tell you what, it's almost like we knew what we were doing.
Woo!
So,
Well done.
yeah, one.
Now we get the lag screw
Put the
in
lag
there.
screw in.
Is it resting on there?
Oh, it's yeah.
So now we screw it in with the lag screw, and we should be set for a little while.
Yep. Look at that thing smoking.
How to do it.
Nice. Really, about the only thing I can think that remains is maybe a couple more lag screws holding that these outside.
Yeah, you can see her
skirt
popping out, but I'm not
pieces.
concerned about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
So just add maybe one more lag screw here
Right.
for added support on this beam. One more lag screw here for added support. In
Right.
addition to this holding it up,
Right. And
which
then-
I'm shaking it. It's not moving.
Oh no, it's in solid. And then you'll be able to make repairs to the metal roof.
Yeah, so I was going to put the metal roof on now, but I think it's still good to have this open for when I come in
Yes.
and add more
Yeah,
lag screws.
makes sense.
As nice as it would be to have that sense of completion of shutting the metal roof, I think I still want to add more lag screws here, one more at least here and one more at least here, just for the added weight bearing.
Yeah.
And so I'll need to keep this metal roof peeled back for now. Once I get those in, I can put it down, and that project's done.
Fist bump.
Yes, thanks, Dad. I've been meaning to get this done forever, and it feels really good to knock this out. It was just one thing that was literally hanging there. It was
pecking away at the back of your brain.
Yeah, and so now, if I'll be honest, when we heard it groaning a little bit, when we were lifting it up, knowing that we thought there's weight, there's big, heavy weights being moved, I was a little kind of freaked out, but we did this slowly and very deliberately, and it worked out. Now that project's been knocked out, I did want to show you guys the progress that we've made on the deck. The last time that you saw the deck, we had just finished out the main square frame of it. And so after that was done, we basically went in and fiddled with the cinder block stanchions to make sure they were in the correct place and at the correct level. So we had to pick up the square frame, put it on there several times, check the level on it just to make sure everything was plumb and where it was supposed to be. Once we ensured that the stanchions were level, we did have to do some digging and adding some paver sand to make sure they were in the correct spot. We threw down some landscape cloth as well as some gravel to keep the weeds down. Once that was complete, we finished filling in the joists throughout the rest of the frame. And after the joists were in place, the only thing left to do was to add the 5/4 lumber topping the top of the deck. And so that's what we've been doing, and we're very close to finishing, but we're not quite there yet. Let's take a look to see what it looks like now. As you can see, most of the 5/4 boards have been screwed down, and this thing has really started to take shape. It's definitely usable as a functional deck that we can walk on. There are a few boards at the end. We ended up running out of screws, so we do need a couple more screws to get I think there's 2 or 3 boards here at the end that we need to screw down. And here at the front, we're actually going to put a step. There's a big kind of railroad tie that we have not too far away from here, a big wooden railroad tie that we want to use as kind of a makeshift step until we get something a little more aesthetically pleasing to put there instead. Once we've done that, the only other thing that we need to do is stain the thing. Now, Dad talked about potentially adding a railing on there. That's not too necessary since it doesn't seem to be that high. That is an option that he's thinking about that he might add. But again, really, there's not much left to do. Like I said, we're just about there. We're not quite done, but we're getting very close. Well, that's all we've got for today, my friends. I'm pleased that you were able to tag along as we knocked out some of these big projects. I don't know about you guys, but there's something really satisfying about finally tackling things that have been sitting on the back burner for a while. Anyways, again, we really appreciate you hanging out with us today, and until next time, remember, as always, slowly, slowly.